I'm Mike Gross, and this is Nittany Next, the regular season ending edition, which means there isn't anything specific next, but a couple of things that we can speculate about. One of them is, as you may have heard, Penn State has fired its offensive coordinator, John Donovan. We don't have John Donovan to kick around anymore, and James Franklin has to find himself a new guy to kind of create an offense that presumably will be in the image of what James Franklin wants, which I suspect is more of a running game, more of a mobile quarterback, dual threat, option-oriented kind of thing than we've had the last couple of years with Christian Hackenberg. And it might be, this is something to keep in mind here, Nittany Nation, it might be somebody that you've never heard of. This is not necessarily going to be a name that you will recognize. It's not necessarily going to be a guy with a real glittery resume. There are examples of guys that go from Division II schools to big-time programs as an offensive coordinator because the head coach just likes this guy and likes his X's and O's and likes his ideas and wants to implement them, and that's what it could be. But anyway, we'll find out. That might not be for another month or more because it probably is going to be after the bowl game, which leads me to the next thing to look forward to, which is where they're going to play in a bowl. And yes, despite their so-so 7-5 record, Penn State is going to a bowl game. In fact, there aren't even enough teams with winning records in major college football to fill all the berths in the bowl games. There's 40 bowl games. So anyway, it looks like right now, like the most likely candidate for Penn State is to go to the Tax Slayer Bowl against an SEC opponent. That's in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's on January 2nd. So that would be, for us who are going to be traveling to the game, that's a pretty nice gig. Somewhere warm in January. It's not too close to Christmas, any of that kind of stuff. And Penn State generally travels well and has a good tradition of playing, showing up well in bowl games in Florida. So I think there's a pretty good chance that that's the one. Other possibles are the Music City Bowl, which is in Nashville, and there's a couple others. The game in Santa Clara, California is a possibility, but it's starting to look like the hierarchy of bowl games, which is too complicated to get into here and not interesting enough to get into here. But anyway, it's starting to look more and more like the Tax Slayer Bowl. So that's it for the next couple of months. Penn State is 7-5. Striving to get better, not happy with where they are. There's going to be a new offensive coordinator. There's going to be a mid-level bowl game. There's going to be recruiting and lots of stuff going forward. But for now, Penn State, we're not quite happy with where we are. Thanks for watching. You can find all of our Penn State football coverage on LancasterOnline.com, Facebook, and Twitter.